So, you're thinking about making Switzerland your long-term home. Maybe you've landed a new job, decided to explore life in the Alps, or simply want a fresh start in one of the most organized and beautiful countries on earth. But before you can enjoy mountain views, lakeside walks, weekend fondue, or the sound of cowbells drifting through the air, you need a place to live. Today, we're diving into everything you need to know about long-term renting in Switzerland, from choosing the right location to understanding house rules, laundry rooms, and the unique Swiss approach to rent regulation. Let's begin. When looking for a long-term rental in Switzerland, the first question is always, where? The simplest advice is this: choose location based on your lifestyle, but never forget the commute. Switzerland's transport network is incredibly efficient. Trains, trams, and buses link cities and suburbs with near-clockwork precision. Because of this, many residents don't live in the exact city center where they work. For example, someone working in Zurich might live in Winterthur, Baden, or Zug. Basel workers may prefer Liestal or Weil am Rhein across the German border. A person working in Geneva might live in Lyon, Lausanne, or even cross-border in France. Basel workers often live in neighboring towns in Switzerland, France, or Germany. These commutes are often seamless. Swiss public transport is designed for reliability, but cost and travel time still matter. Factors to consider include travel zones. Many cities use zone-based passes, and commuting across multiple zones increases cost. Another factor is travel time. A commute might be comfortable at 20-30 minutes, but anything approaching an hour can become tiring long-term. Then, there's lifestyle. Do you want nature outside your door? A family-friendly suburb? Or the vibrance of the city center? And there's noise. Proximity to train lines, trams, schools, or bars can all impact quiet hours. And in Switzerland, quiet hours are sacred. In short, where you live shapes your entire Swiss experience. Choose carefully, and always calculate the commute before signing anything. Finding an apartment in Switzerland can feel like a competitive sport. Supply is tight in major cities and demand is high. Most people search on HomeGate, ImmoScout24, Comparis, FlatFox, and, in the Geneva region, Anibis. In large cities, agencies often host open house viewings where dozens of people arrive to see the same apartment. It's completely normal. When you find a place you like, the application process begins. What you'll usually need is a copy of your residence permit or proof you've applied for one, your work contract, or a salary slip, a EBIT or register extract, which is easy to obtain and proves you have no unpaid debts, a personal CV or introduction letter. Yes, for apartments. Sometimes employer references are asked for, and for newcomers without Swiss credit history, landlords often want a strong work contract or company guarantee of employment, or will instead charge a higher deposit. If you're applying from abroad, mention your employer and relocation timeline. Some people use relocation services to improve their chances. And here's a tip: apply immediately after viewing. Good apartments often receive dozens of applications in the first 24 hours. Most people in Switzerland rent apartments, not houses. Houses exist, especially in rural areas or wealthy suburbs, but apartments are far more common and cost-effective. Renting an apartment. Apartments usually come in multi-story buildings with shared infrastructure. They tend to offer lower costs compared to houses, shared laundry facilities, shared heating systems, neighbors above, below, and beside you. Strict house rules. More on that soon. Apartment sizes are described in rooms. A 3.5-room apartment, for example, has 1 living room, 2 bedrooms, 1 kitchen area. The 0.5 usually means a dining area or open space. Renting a house. Houses offer more privacy and freedom, but usually come with higher rents, lawn and garden maintenance, responsibility for minor repairs, sometimes oil heating maintenance, higher utilities, fewer rental options available. Houses tend to be found in suburbs or countryside areas. Urban houses exist but are rare and typically expensive. Choosing between the two comes down to your lifestyle. If you want space, privacy, and maybe a garden, look toward a house. If you want convenience, shared costs, and easier access to city life, choose an apartment. Once you find a home you want, you'll encounter the next Swiss rental tradition, the deposit. Most landlords ask for 1 to 3 months' rent as a security deposit. This money is held in a blocked bank account in your name, and you cannot access it. The landlord cannot touch it without your consent, and it earns very little interest. It is only released after you move out and all inspections are complete. In Switzerland, move-out inspections are thorough. Even tiny nail holes or marks on the wall may be scrutinized. For those who don't want to freeze a large sum of money, Switzerland offers a unique alternative: deposit insurance. Providers like Swiss Caution, First Caution, and others offer a service where you pay an annual fee while they guarantee the deposit to the landlord, and so you never have to pay the full deposit up front. But remember, deposit insurance is not the same as paying a deposit. It's more like paying for a guarantee, and if the landlord claims damages, the insurance company will pay them and then bill you. Most long-term tenants prefer a traditional deposit, but the insurance option is extremely helpful for newcomers who want to reduce upfront costs. Swiss rentals come with something universally known: house rules, the Hausordnung. These outline expectations for quiet hours, cleaning requirements, use of shared spaces, pets, guest policies. Quiet hours are strictly followed, typically 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Midday quiet hours exist in some cantons, usually 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. During quiet hours, avoid loud music, drilling, or moving heavy furniture. House rules may specify no grilling on balconies, music speakers allowed only at moderate volume. Children's playing hours, cleaning rotation for staircases or shared areas. Swiss neighbors notice rule violations quickly, but they are usually polite and will leave a friendly note before escalating to the building management. One of the biggest cultural surprises for newcomers is shared laundry rooms. While more modern apartments have private washers, many buildings still rely on a communal laundry space. Here's what to expect. You may have assigned washing days, maybe once a week. Some buildings use a booking calendar. Others operate on trust. Leaving laundry unattended for too long is frowned upon. Cleaning the laundry room after your slot is mandatory. The machines are usually high quality, and drying rooms are common. Some buildings have coin-operated systems. Others include usage in the rent. If private laundry is essential for you, make that part of your apartment search criteria. Swiss apartments are typically unfurnished, and when we say unfurnished, we mean it. Not only do they come without furniture, but often no light fixtures, no curtains, often no washing machine, and in older apartments, no kitchen appliances. Most modern apartments include a full kitchen, but don't be surprised to find an empty room in older listings where the previous tenant took the entire kitchen with them. Furnished apartments do exist, but they're rare for long-term rentals and usually cost more. IKEA, Conforama, and Galaxis are popular furnishing options. Delivery can take time, so plan ahead. Switzerland doesn't have rent control in the way some countries do, but it does have rent regulation. Rent is tied to the Swiss reference interest rate. If the reference rate goes down, tenants can request a rent reduction. If it goes up, landlords may raise rents. When you move into a new property, the landlord sets an initial rent based on market demand. After that, rent increases must be justified. Rent decreases can be requested if the reference rate falls. Tenants may challenge excessive rent within the first 30 days of moving in. In reality, this varies. In competitive markets, people often accept high starting rents. Landlords rarely offer reductions automatically. Tenants must request them. Cantonal arbitration offices can support tenants in disputes. While not classic rent control, the Swiss system aims for fairness and stability. Finally, Switzerland takes waste management very seriously. Proper sorting is not optional, it's part of Swiss culture. Here's what you need to know. Most cantons require you to buy official garbage bags, often quite expensive. These funds help pay for waste collection and encourage recycling. If you use the wrong bag, your trash may simply not be collected. If inspectors find incorrect items inside, they can trace mail or labels back to the household and issue fines. Recycling is extensive and often free. Items that are typically recycled include plastic bottles, glass, metal, paper, and cardboard, batteries, electronics, light bulbs, paper, and cardboard. Some buildings have on-site recycling. Others require taking items to nearby recycling locations. Once you settle in, you'll find Swiss waste management is extremely well organized, and you'll rarely see litter. Renting long-term in Switzerland is a unique experience, structured, formal, and community-focused. From competitive apartment searches and detailed house rules to shared laundry rooms and the precise art of recycling, Switzerland's rental culture reflects the country's values, order, fairness, and quality of life. Once you understand the system, the deposits, the regulations, the neighborly expectations, you'll find that renting in Switzerland can be stable, predictable, and incredibly comfortable. And when you finally look out your window at the mountains or the lakes, you'll know that the effort was worth it.